It is June the 4th. Michael Vaughan with Lee Barker. And Lee, we've got three rather good pieces of news to report on this month. Let's begin with Bruell, where you've sold your 25% interest to Eldorado.
That's correct, Mike. We announced this last week. We closed the transaction basically on last Thursday. The funds have been paid and put into our account. And we had we did this because of about three different reasons. Number one, we have been involved in a 75%, 25% joint venture with Eldorado.
Cash calls, whatever.
Exactly. We have no sense of timing when they're going to do more work on the property. We know they like the property. Obviously, they wouldn't have exercised their original option to take 75% of it.
Yep.
And so we had some very serious negotiations with them over the cost and the valuation and the price. But we believe that taking the money now and using it for other things is our best,
$275,000.
Our best decision. That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Item number two, your critical minerals project called Pense on the Ontario-Quebec border. Last summer you drilled in Ontario. Some excellent results. Now it's time for Quebec?
That's correct, Mike. We have continuation of the same stratigraphy and the geologic units and the geophysical targets onto the Quebec side from the Ontario side. And we didn't drill there last year because we didn't have a drilling permit. The new regulations in Quebec require two kinds of permits before you can actually do this. One is a permit for disturbing the land and doing work. The other is a permit to actually drill. And our drilling permit came in late when freeze-up was starting on the Quebec side, so we didn't do any drilling there.
All right. But on the Ontario side, you've got nickel, copper, zinc, gold. It's the same formation across the border.
That's correct. And this geological environment is very similar to the world-class deposits in Finland at a place called Outokumpu.
Yeah.
And the geology, the rock types that are related to the mineralization, et cetera, are quite similar. So that we're quite optimistic that with all the untested targets that we have there, that we haven't tested, because we only really tested two of the targets. And
commercial deposits, that's what we want. Okay, now let's go to VRB, because this is interesting. Ivanhoe Electric filed a 10K, and finally we get an implied valuation of VRB.
That's correct, and this is a bit of a milestone in terms of information for us. The BCPG Thailand renewable developer that did the $24 million convertible debenture in 2021 and has until the end of middle of next year to close that transaction, either convert the debenture or get paid back the $24 million by VRB Energy. That transaction had an implied value of $158 million for VRB Energy.
158 million, and you've got 9.98% or something.
That's correct, and that's an implied value. But at that time, which was almost over 4 years ago now, that was a very significant number, and that represents what the valuation of VRB Energy likely would be at a minimum in a transaction that results in a liquidity event, takes VRB Energy public, et cetera, et cetera. And the other point is that on the bookkeeping for VRB Energy and Ivanhoe Electric, the sale of the 51% interest in a joint venture to manufacture the batteries in Asia that was done last fall in October, they recorded a gain on their books of $20 million on that. And so that's a positive thing. And we're seeing now, because Ivanhoe Electric is a public company and is subject to full disclosure of material things, some information coming out that looks like showing our valuation of VRB Energy can be quite significant for Sparton and for its subsidiary Vanspar Mining.
Well, bring on the liquidity event. That's what we're looking for.
Well,
you're going to have a busy summer in Quebec, Lee. Come back with some results.
Well, I'll be back and I'll give you the new results when we get new news, and we're certainly looking forward to getting some work done.